Alright, now let's continue with last subtopic under hire purchase agreement, which is repossessions. Okay, so before that, we know that after we sign the hire purchase agreements, we must know the principal obligations. Okay, as the hirer. Okay, we have to keep the goods, okay, according to the registered address, and then if we like to remove from the to specified place, then you must obtain approval from the magistrate court. Okay, you have to inform owner. Okay, and then you cannot dispose, remove or sell of any of the goods without any consent of the owner. And last but not least is hirer must pay regular installment. Okay, so upon defaults by the hirer for 2 successive payments will enable the owner to repossess. Repossess here means proses penarikan semula. Okay, kalau kita selalu tengok kan dalam TV ke, proses tarik balik kereta. Okay, this is known as repossessions. Okay, the main provisions for repossession is section 16. It provides for rights of repossessions to an owner. So owner has right to repossess hire purchase item when there is a default by the hirer. For example, non-payment of installments by the hirer. Okay, however, in order to exercise the rights of repossessions, owner must follow the procedures. Okay, first, before we proceed with the discussions of the procedures, we need to determine the defaults in payment first. Okay, because this is only conditions that owner must follow before owner may proceed with the next procedure. So in order to determine the default in payment based on section 16 subsection 1, owner can repossess the goods from the hirer if, okay, I give you the brief explanation based on this provision. If the payments of total installment not more than 75% of the cash price and 2 successive defaults of payments by the hirer. So you have to highlight these two conditions under first provisions. So katalah, let's say the hirer has paid more than 75%, so owner cannot use these provisions. Okay, so what if the payment of total installments more than 75%, okay, and there is 2 successive defaults of payments made by the hirer, so owner can repossess based on section 16 subsection 1 capital A when owner obtain an order of the court to that effect. So once dia dah dapat court order, then dia boleh proceed to repossess the car because of the total installments more than 75%. Okay, yang first provision tadi not more than 75%. And the third provision, section 16 subsection 1 capital C, if the hirer is deceased, there must be 4 successive defaults of payment of the monthly installments by the respective of the deceased hirer, representative of the deceased hirer before the repossession can be made. Okay, now we proceed with the procedure of repossession before repossessions. So the prerequisites procedure, first is to serve the fourth schedule notice to the hirer, and then the timeline given is 21 days. Okay, so owner must serve on the hirer a written notice of intention to repossess as set out in the fourth schedule, and owner can only repossess the goods after the expirations of the periods fixed in the notice, meaning after expiry of the 21 days. Okay, maksudnya hari ke-22, then owner can start repossess the goods. So it must be not less than 21, otherwise the notice is not valid. So this is stated in the case of Pang Brothers Motors Neighborhood and Lee Ai Seng. In this case, the appellant issued a notice to repossess the car, which was 2 days short of statutory minimum 21 days. In this case, owner um, just state the periods of 19 days to the hirer, so the notice has no effect because the minimum requirement is 21 days. Okay, next, owner may waive owner may waive this notice. Okay, if he believes that goods will be removed or concealed by the hirer. This is based on section 16 subsection 2, but the burden of proof lies upon the owner. Okay, the process during repossessions based on section 16 subsection 7. The repossession is to be done lawfully, okay, and must comply with any regulations relating to the manner. So you may refer to these regulations, okay, that must be followed by the owner. Okay, so if the owner asks agent, so agent must show his identity and authority card. If entering the premises, the owner or agent must observe the rules. If there is any force or criminal act involved, owner shall be guilty of an offence. Okay, so owner tak boleh simply pergi tarik saja kereta tu. Okay, he must show his own identity card. Okay, or if he use any agent, show agent's authority card. So immediately when taking possession, so what must be done by the owner? Okay, owner must acknowledge the hirer that he has repossessed the goods based on section 16 subsection 4. So owner must serve notice, okay, to the hirer. Okay, next, the procedure after repossessions. Okay, after means that owner dah repossess, so now goods tu dah ada pada owner. So once repossessed, owner must serve this notice, fifth schedule notice, and the timeline given is 21 days. So sama juga dengan fourth schedule notice just now. So based on section 16 subsection 3, owners within 21 days after repossessions of the goods serve on the hirer and every guarantor a written notice in form set out in the fifth schedule. So basically, the fifth schedule notice gives two options to the hirer. First option is to exercise the hirer's right to resume possession. So hirer can resume possession within 21 days and pay the arrears as well as the penalty. So dia kena bayarlah tunggakan tadi, and then he must pay the penalty as well for breaching the agreement. Or hirer can choose to terminate the hire purchase agreement and then pay the balance sums payable under the said agreements. So if owner fails to serve a fifth schedule notice, owner's right under the hire purchase agreement ceases and determines. The owner will lose all rights under the agreement and would not be entitled to get any remedies. Okay, so owner tak akan dapat any compensation if he fail to serve to the hirer this notice. So he must give 21 days period to the hirer either to exercise the options just now, okay, to resume the positions or to terminate the contract. Okay, so whether owner can sell the goods. Based on section 17 subsection 1, owner cannot sell the goods without the written consent of the hirer until 21 days expired. Okay, just now dia dah bagi 21 days stated in the fifth schedule notice, so he must wait after 21 days to sell the goods if there is no option exercised by the hirer. However, if the notice under section 18 subsection 1A has been given until the time for payment or tender pursuant to that notice has expired. Okay, so maybe dia boleh sell. Okay, owner can sell the goods but must be with the hirer consent based on section 17. Okay, after the expirations of the 21 days, still no payments made by the hirer, okay, hirer still not resumes the positions, so he can sell it without the hirer's consent. Okay, sale of item must be made based on public auctions. Owner must serve the hirer a copy of notice of such public auctions. Owner must also give hirer an option to purchase the goods at a price which the owner intended to sell. So, hirer also can participate in public auctions. So, dia pun boleh purchase the goods. Okay, and last but not least is the rights of hirer after repossession. This is actually related to the options given under fee schedule notice. Okay, whereby hirer may ask the hirer may ask the owner to redeliver the goods, okay, that have been repossessed, and then to sell the goods to any person introduced by the hirer who is prepared to buy for cash at a price not less than estimated value of the goods set out in the notice. So these are the two options just now, to resume or to regain positions. So how to regain positions? He must pay or tenders the owner any amounts due in respect of the period of hiring up to the date of the payment or tender, and they must pay the remedies of any breach. Okay, and then he may choose to sell the goods. Hirer is entitled to recover from the owner the difference in amount where the value of the good exceeds the money owed or the total amount paid exceeds the debt. And the owners here, the burden of proof is lies on the owner to show that he has sold the repossessed good at the best price that could be reasonably obtained by him. So kalau ada difference, okay, maksudnya value of the goods tu exceed the money owed, then hirer is entitled to claim from the owner. Okay, and last one is on the penalty. Just now we mentioned owner, dealer guilty of an offence. So what are the penalties given to them? Example of penalties given is under section 46, subsection 1. Any person who is guilty of an offence under this act or any regulation made thereunder, for which no penalty expressly provided, shall on conviction be liable if such person is a body corporate, fine not exceeding 100,000 ringgit. So kalau company, corporations, okay, partnership, okay, for a second or subsequent offence, fine not exceeding 250,000 ringgit. If he is not a body corporate, means that a person, so fine not exceeding 25,000 ringgit and other imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years, or to both for second or subsequent offence to fine not exceeding 50,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years, or to both. So these are the example of penalties given if there is a breaching of the hire purchase agreements, hire purchase act. Okay, the requirements given under the agreements. Okay, so with that I end the lecture on the hire purchase agreements. If you have any problems, okay, you are not understand any of the terms, okay, please let me know. Ask me the question, inshallah I will answer you. Okay, thank you very much for your kind cooperations. Assalamualaikum.